What you prepare for happens. What you wing, most of the time, doesn't. So it is all up to you.
Yeah, and we're all guilty of that. Us as well. We're human. We're going to make mistakes, but this is one of the
Yes,
reasons why we stress this, so it holds us accountable too, right? So we want to
absolutely,
share this with you
absolutely.
guys. And it is amazing when you do that little bit of planning, you can get through things and be more productive, right? So that's the whole. It's one of the reasons we do these lives every week is to share stuff, as we say all the time, that we research. So before we get into today, I got to bring up something that happened right before, earlier this morning. Is there was a gal that I don't know if her account got hacked or whatever happened,
We
but there
know that
was
does
some.
happen, and
It
that some
does
people,
happen, right?
things get sent out on other people's behalfs, and that.
I think it was a bot, but she's been banned. So just to remind people, no spamming of the group of anything like that, especially like that. It was a make money offer.
Yeah, we don't do offers or anything like that. It's all motivational. It's all pictures of your races, stuff like that. It's pictures of your runs. This is all motivation for healthy living, healthy running, all of that stuff. So that's what we want it to be, and that's what it will stay. And like I said, anything that comes up like that, don't worry that's it's taken away immediately.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So that just to reiterate that before we get into today. So unfortunately it came up and these things happen, but we're on top of it is the bottom line. So
Yes. Okay.
today we're going to talk about another thing, which we've kind of going back to. So we did the cookie one a couple weeks ago. We did some stuff last week on the strength of ankle, and we're going to talk about that as we recap. We're going to stay with some exercises and strength building. Then we're going to go back to the kitchen. So we'll kind of go these back and forth here for a little while. But that's where, just the stuff that we know that you guys like, that we like. And we're always looking for feedback as well with stuff. So today we're going to talk about stuff for your shoulders, which are critical, near and dear to my heart, exercises for shoulder mobility. And let's see here. Hold on. We got some little bit of tech issues here. As we say each week, this is not medical advice, stuff that we research, that we share, but we want you guys to think for yourself.
Yeah, and if you're having any pain, obviously, any pain, anything that's persistent, you have to have it checked out. That is something. The issue I had, I did a lot on my own. I knew a lot about to be able to do it on my own, and I still went to a professional. So it is something a lot. If you let things get out, of control, but when you have pain, persistent pain or whatever, that is where you have to address somebody. What we talk about is preventative stuff that it's not going to solve any problems, but it's preventative stuff. And it's some of the things that I was taught to rehab my injuries. So.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a great quote here. Again, we're evolving, right? We individually are evolving. We know you guys are evolving. And that's the whole point of this group, is for us to keep evolving.
Absolutely.
So we can eat healthier, so we can stay more active, increase our mobility, and stay injury free, right? That's all these little things add up, right?
We're all, like I said, most of us are master or senior master runners. So we want to be able to run, we want to be able to move well, and we want to be able to have, autonomy, so we can, function, have those functional strengths that we need to do those daily activities and the activities that we, want to be able to do.
Yeah, exactly. So just to recap last week about the benefits of strengthening your feet and ankle, again, near and dear to my heart. We talked about different, the reasons why, some common injuries that can come out of it, sprains, plantar fasciitis, which again, a lot of runners have that. I had it really bad.
Yeah.
Still have to really focus on it, so I keep that nipped in the bud. But it goes down to that stretching, right, and the foam rolling and all the things that we talk about. This is, kind of why we do this. And then we gave you some different exercises, which again, we are doing as well.
Absolutely.
Because we are evolving. Okay, so real quick before we get into today, I have to congratulate this amazing woman right here. She is the love of my life, and she is my inspiration. And she crossed her 3-year run streak yesterday. 3 years, not missing a day. Think about that for a second.
A little crazy. But like I said, I no way in any means recommend anyone to do that. This was a very personal thing that I used to combat a situation that was completely out of my control. That was, my dad, the pandemic. There was just a lot going on. So this was my stress relief. Running is my stress relief. So I never knew it would turn into that. So, but you know what? It has forced me to do that foam rolling, to do that mobility, to get that strength. This is one thing I knew if I was going to run every day, I couldn't, just do the miles. I knew it had to be encompassing the whole thing. And that's what's brought us back to it's running, but it's a healthy lifestyle and it's having everything be under that health. And yes, I've been able to run every day and stay healthy only because I was willing to do the boring work that we don't we don't like to do. And but that's some of the work we're going to be talking about today. We're going to do a series of mobility um, on key areas that we need for runners. And today we're talking about shoulders. It's not what you would really think about that. Well, what mobility do I need? I'm running, my arms are just moving. Your shoulders are involved in anything you do with your upper body. Really, really important. So,
yeah, exactly. So, had to point that out again. Patty just mentioned unlocking your shoulder potential. It's really about mobility. We all, as we age, because we're now typically, well, us in this group, we're more mobile, right? But we want to make sure that we take it up a level and we stay that way so we can enjoy life as we all age, because we can't control that, right? So you might as well do things that you can control so you can be more active and spend time with your family, friends, your grandkids, etc., right? As we all age.
Yeah, and mobility work is part of strength. You cannot have, mobility is just being able to move your joints through a full range of motion. If you can't do that, if you have limitations there, that's going to limit everything you do with that joint. And we know our shoulder joint, really complex, a lot going on. I know if any of you if you played tennis or had any issues with surgery, I've known people that have had multiple shoulder surgeries. So you get it. There's a lot going on there. So not having that full range of motion is going to affect your running. It's going to affect your running economy. All of these things are things that kind of suck energy. Running takes a lot of energy. You don't want to waste any energy by having faulty movement patterns. These are things you can work on, and working on these things all translate into better running.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to show some examples of some exercises that we do that we're trying to work on every week, and because we're evolving, right? So the first one here, now we got a little bit of a tech challenge here, so I got to change some things around here. So bear with me. It's unfortunate, but this is what we got to do today to make all this stuff work. So we want to show these with you guys. These are actually
it's just
pretty
easier
good.
Trying to.
It's just easier, to show it this way. So this is the first exercise called the supine pullover. Supine, excuse me. I want to put the L in there.
He always tries to
supine pullover.
A new word there.
Yeah. So take a PVC pipe or a dowel or a broomstick, whatever you got, something long that you can hang on to and lay on the ground. Don't have to worry about this, right?
Ideally, this is getting that full external rotation of our shoulders. If you sit at a computer all day, a lot of times we have that forward hunch. That this is movement. You need to move that back if you want to get rid of that forward posture that affects the neck, that affects the back, it affects all of your, like I said, upper body movements. So if you can't have that range of motion that you need, being able to rotate back like that, it's going to affect a lot of what you do.
Yeah, so let me play this again because I don't think it came through appropriately. So we went to the gym yesterday and they made some changes there, but we were able to still use the outdoor area. And again, there's the movement right there.
So pretty ideally, you want to keep your arms straight and you want to be able to go back and lay on the thing. Now, I still do not have full mobility in my shoulders. I am still working on that. But last year when I injured this shoulder, I couldn't even do this, and I couldn't even put my hand behind my back. So I have been working on this and working on this and working on this. So it is something, but I know it's a key to me being able to, wanting to be able to do my pull-ups, wanting to be able to do my push-ups, wanting to be able to do my functional strength. You can't have strength without mobility. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's the next one. This other one, doing laying down, which you can easily do, super easy. I still cannot do this one all the way. Even Patty can, as you can see here.
No, I can't get
my her shoulders just kind of rotate, but that comes back to our lifestyle. But if we don't work on this and put the reps in, you're never going to improve.
Exactly. And like I said, but last summer I couldn't even have gone back like that. So that it just shows you, if you keep working and keep working, you will get that. And eventually, if I keep working, I will get to that full mobility that I want.
Yeah, exactly. So again, a little bit sorry for the, this is just the way we got to do this here today. Oh, we don't want that one. We want, hold on here. Okay, the next one is called the shoulder rotation with a weighted here. And just take a little lightweight, just something small, and just work on that rotation right there. Depending upon where you're at with any, if you had any injury, again, as we always say, talk with your doctor or physical therapist. But this is one that you can start to do. If you can't do it with a weight, do it without a weight.
Do it without a weight. Do it with a 3-pound weight. That's a 5-pound, just plates. And if you feel any pain, if you're feeling any pain when you're doing this or whatever, that's when you would stop. If you're feeling any pain, you would be working hopefully with a physical therapist that could get you through these movements. But like I said, these are some of the movements that I was doing to get back that strength. And this gets the stability. There's, like I said, the shoulder is so complicated. There's so many muscles that go from the back to there that connect to this, that connect to your arm. But all having stability in all those things. So doing stuff with weights is something that actually allows you to strengthen all those stability muscles that's in your rotator cuff. Your rotator cuff is the stability part of your shoulder. So you need strength in all of that. We think of our delts pushing the big weights, with overhead presses, but you need everything around it to be strong too, and to have the range of motion to be able to move well through that movement.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the next one. Again, another one you can do lying down. And this is a lot harder than you think. It's the prone swimmers.
Yeah, and this does the full external and internal, rotating. And this is something that, like I said, I couldn't even come close to doing last year, and I've really had to. But this also takes strength through your whole body too, so it's actually a great thing. And you can actually do Superman's raise your
feet, as you can kind of see she does there for a minute. Yeah.
But that is the movement. If you can get that down, that's a great movement to work on mobility.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that one. And then the next one, again, these are all small moves, but I'll tell you, if you do these, man, they really, because this is what we're working on now, is the overhead kettlebell or any kind of weight. We just happen to have a kettlebell because we were at the gym, fortunately, and just try to maintain your posture as best you can. Patty has perfect posture here when she's doing this one.
And this is stabilizing. Not only does this work on your shoulder rotation or your shoulder strength, it also works on your grip strength too, and having to stabilize that. And it's actually a full body thing because you have to stabilize your core to be able to, maintain that. But it's slow, controlled, seems easy. You can do, these are things that you can do daily that are not going to, it doesn't take a lot of energy. It's not like doing push-ups or pull-ups. These are things that you can just add into your routines, hopefully with your strength training days, or you can have these things at your house and do that. Find something that weighs something that you can carry. And kind of walk around that, see how stable you can be, see if you can keep your arm straight, at that 90-degree angle, and keep that wrist to where you can stabilize whatever that weight is. Like I said, that works not only your grip strength, but also those muscles in your rotator cuff, those stabilizing muscles.
Yeah, now this one I like as well. This is like one of my favorite ones to do at the gym. Again, this is being done at a gym, but even if you've got just some of those bands that we've talked about, you can wrap it around a doorknob or wrap it around something with a door or a staircase. Yeah, the spindle on the staircase. Or we've got a new pull-up bar, which we've talked about. It works perfect down there. And this is the face pull, which really helps build those upper traps, your upper back, so you can pull those shoulders back. That's the bottom line, is pulling the shoulders back.
Yeah, because our shoulders attached to tons of muscles all the way back here. So having all of that, not only strength, but mobility in that is what works too. Like I said, mobility is moving well. So we want to be able to move well through the exercises that we're asking our body to do, the movements that we're body to do. And like I said, all of this will translate into more efficient running. You're not using, it takes 20% of your energy just to stabilize your pelvis. So your arm swings, you think, oh, my arms are just hanging there. No, you need to be able to keep them down. You need to be able to keep them rotated back, because what happens, runners get tired, they do this. That having that amount of tension, that is going to, like I said, just suck energy that you don't have. So
yeah, which is what, we're trying to avoid all that stuff, right? So this is another critical one. It's similar to what we were just showing on the ground, the supine overhead. This was, now you want to do it standing up. It's called the shoulder pass-through, actually. So you
or
just want,
PVC pass-through.
or PVC pass-through. Again, broomstick, PVC pipe. You can get those at any local hardware store or Home Depot or Lowe's. It's very, very cheap. They'll let you cut it for you.
Yeah. Now, ideally, you need to be able to keep your arms straight. I could not get my arms to stay straight to get that movement. So you're going to compensation. The further out you are, the easier it is. The more mobility you have, the more you start to move inward. That is, like I said, that is still mobility. I'm still working on that. I don't have completely in all the ranges of motions that your shoulder can do multiple ranges of motion.
Right, but the key thing though is a year ago when she was injured, she couldn't do that at all. And now she can, right? So she went to the physical therapy and got that worked out. But that's critical for all of us to make sure we can do that.
If you have things going on, they are fixable problems or whatever. I overstressed my arm. I pushed through when I shouldn't have, or whatever, and that was my fault. And I didn't listen to what I tell you guys all to do about running. I didn't apply that when I was lifting, and that's what happened. But I've gotten back. It was a big setback. I lost about 6 months. But it made me appreciate being able to do these movements and being able to put my hand behind my back. That is, you would be shocked at how limiting having just something like that can affect your everyday movements. And unfortunately, we don't realize that until something big happens that stops us. So we are just putting these things out here to get this to be part of your routine, a few minutes a day, so you don't blow up your arm like I did. So you don't get to that point where you're having to do that. These are the exercises that don't take a lot. They're just, you can break up your day and do a lot of them are just body weight exercises. So anything that you can do that increases your mobility will 100% translate to better running. So you always have to think of, we want to make running easier. Running's hard enough as it is when you have perfect form and when you have perfect, running economy. To get that, there's a lot involved with that. This is a big part of it, but like I said, a few minutes a day can do wonders.
Yeah, exactly. So here's another one. Again, a version of we were just showing the one where Patty was lying down. Now you stand up, right? And again, this is a work in progress. She's evolving. I'm evolving, right? It's the wall angel.
Yeah, and I cannot get my back fully on the wall. I cannot get my shoulders back. I can see when you look at it, I can see the compensations that I'm having to make, but it's all working towards getting to that and working through that mobility. So
yeah, exactly.
It will stop. It will happen. It just takes.
It takes repetition, consistency, right? This is not rocket science at the end of the day. We all know this, right? Which is so frustrating. But yeah, that's why we have the group, to hold each other accountable. We're reminding you guys, by us sharing this, it's reminding us as well, so we can all work together and have that community environment, which we all desperately need. And we're going to need a lot more of that as time goes on here.
Yes. Like I said, if everyone could be runners,
the world would be a different place. I agree with that 100%, because again, it clears your head. People that say things, anyway, we're not getting off topic there. So the last one here is another good one here. Again, she couldn't do this a year ago.
This is a mobility test. It's one of the things, and being able to fully rotate your arm back without any compensation. I still have a little bit of compensation because I'm having to make that movement happen. But if you have one of those dowels, or you have PVC pipe, for the opposite hand, you're going to plant that and you're going to hold that and have everything as tight and as stiff as possible, putting pressure on that PVC pipe, and then doing this motion and seeing if you can completely rotate without moving anything. Being able to fully do that basically against the wall, to where your arm doesn't move outside your body is the full range of motion for that. Got a ways to go, working on it. These are all things that, like I said, the steps that I went through with rehab and what has happened. And like I said, this is going to translate into my push-ups, the pull-ups that I want to do. I work on all this before I do those type of big compound movements, because the more mobile you are, the more loose it is when you start to do that, the more active those muscles are, the better your, like I said, strength training is going to be, which is going to, like I said, translate into that functional strength that is so critical.
And on top of all that, you know what? You're going to feel better. We
You
know
do
this,
feel
but
better.
you will feel so much better. Getting to that run, you always get done. There's never a bad run. We all know that, right? You get done, you're like, I regret that run. Who's ever said that?
No one.
No one has ever said that. Yes, you've got a lot going on in your life. Yes, you're stressed. We get that, but that's why we run, to use that as the vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So today we just, again, wanted to share you some stuff that we're working on. We are a work in progress. We know all of us are, but we are all evolving. And so kind of along those lines is that we've said as well here recently is that if you guys want any help at all with just getting started, whether it's you're getting your nutritional stuff dialed in, getting some ideas for some of these exercises, just go ahead and go to runtips.us/call. That's runtips.us/call.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll spend a few minutes with you guys, get you started. There's a lot of stuff. You'd be surprised that we can help you out as we start to, as we just start just having a conversation, because a lot of times you just need that outside set of ears or eyes or, kind of thoughts on some things, and it'll help you out quite a bit. So you go to runtips.us/call. It's on the bottom of the screen there. And look at that.
Like I said, we, a lot of people getting overwhelmed or feeling like it's too much or not knowing where to start are the key things that keeps people from not doing anything. We want to get people past that. It's too hard, I can't do anything, and they're just not going to do it. And
because we've been there, guys. We've been there.
Exactly. And it's not a good feeling. It's not anything that you want. And a lot of times it's just a little bit. You just need that little bit of guidance, a little bit of push, whatever it is. Whether it's figuring out, it's complicated. Like, how many calories should I eat in a day? How many, if I do run, how all these, there's lots of different things out there, but we can get you guided in the same, like I said, in the right direction. It is worth it. We have to get this figured out. We have to have that good nutrition. We have to have that hydration. We have to have that functional strength, because we all want to be not surviving. We want to be thriving later in life. That's where, we get to take the trips. We get to do all these things. We get to have that fun. But we have to be healthy enough to be able to do it, strong enough to be able to do it. So that's a huge part of it.
Exactly. Again, we want to thrive. So with that, we're going to close out here today. So you guys can enjoy your weekend and you can take a step towards thriving yourself.
Yeah, I know you guys are. So happy Saturday, everyone. Have an awesome day, because you deserve it. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys next week. See ya.